Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahawashi, Ba'Hashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yesharala that rule well. And salutations to you, Akim, out there in the highways and the byways, preaching this word in truth and in sincerity. This is GMS Chicago coming at you again with another lesson. And basically what we're going to go into today is going to be about, the Lord, something simple, because you have a lot of these Christians that think the Bible's for everybody, and one simple way to cut it is really to prove how the Lord is just with Israel. There's other ways how you could prove that Israelites, those Gentiles, are Israelite foreigners and all that, but the simplest way you could always prove it is that how the Lord always talks about Israel and how He's only dealing with them, right? So now I'm gonna start off with this one. This is Psalms 147 and 19. It says, He showeth His word unto Jacob, His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. Right? It says He had not dealt so with any nation, and as for His judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahawashi. So all the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave were unto what nation? The Israelites. No other nation was in there in the wilderness with us when the Lord was telling us these laws through Moses. It was only the Israelites. I mean, you had, the scattered heathens within there, but it was directly just for us, man. Every time it always gave a law. It says, and speak unto the children of Israel, and speak until this, and speak unto that.
Oh, okay. Back you up.
Yeah.
There's the book of Leviticus, chapter 26. Chapter 26, verse 46. These are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord Yahweh made between Him and the children of Israel in Mount Sinai by the hand of Moses. Alright? Showing you that the Lord's only dealing with Israel. You see, when you go into Genesis, the 10th chapter, you get the table of nations. There's 18 families on earth. Alright? And you only have I known out of all the families of the earth. He's telling Israel, Amos, the 3rd chapter. Can you grab that real quick? I don't want to quote it. But the Lord's only dealing with one people, man.
Yeah. That's
why He said that if you would hearken unto my words and follow my laws, statutes, commandments that I have given you, O children of Israel, I will set you above on high, above all nations, man.
Yep.
Can you read that?
Yeah, this is Amos 3:1. It says, Hear this word that Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel. Right? Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying. Now that's another point. When He saved when He went in Egypt, why didn't He save some of the Canaanites, or the other nations within there? Why did He specifically just choose Israel? You see?
All right.
This is verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for your iniquities.
Right, because we were given the law, statutes, commandments. Remember, sin is
transgression.
Is the transgression of the law. Okay? And we broke the law, so that's why, we had to do our time. It's crazy how these heathens, they want everything that's coming to Israel, but they didn't put in the blood, sweat, and tears, man. They didn't put the time of servitude, all right, that we have served, and we're serving right now. We're still in captivity, man, going through this shit.
They're not going through the curses.
No, they're not. The curses don't fall upon them, man. The curses are upon us. You see?
Yep.
And that's evident, man. That's plain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these heathens think the Lord is for everybody. No, that's not true, man. All right? Yep. These other nations are nothing, all right? Are nothing to the Lord, man. Less than nothing, but be like on the spittle. Right.
And it was the same thing in the Old Testament, and the same thing in the New Testament. Nothing has changed.
Right.
If I may get this,
yeah.
This is Leviticus 20 and 26. It says, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I Yahweh am holy, and have severed you, in other words, separated you from other people, that ye should be mine.
Yep.
You So that's a racist statement, if you ask me. You know.
Yeah.
So these scriptures prove that the Lord is only dealing with Israel. He did it back then, and he's doing it today. You know, the Lord changes not. What is that? Micah.
Yeah, like 3 and 6 or something.
This is Micah 3 and 6. No, it might be Malachi.
Malachi, I think it's Malachi. Salaki.
Yep, Malachi 3 and 6. It says, "For I am Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed." You see, so the Lord, He doesn't change, man. He's not gonna say He's for Israel in the whole Old Testament, and then out of nowhere just say, "You know what? I changed my mind. Now the heathens could come in." You know, it makes no sense, man. You know, hey, and this lesson was inspired by the brother from London. He was going into Bocat Malone's lesson, quote unquote lesson, talking about that we use specific scriptures that, you know, to make it seem like it's only for Israel and all this other madness. You know, saying the same shit. No, man. You know, the Lord is only for Yasharallah, man. You know.
Khan, real quick, because people be saying, "Oh, Jesus died for me," you know. And first of all, that's not the Lord's name, and He's a so-called black man from the tribe of Judah. His name is Yahushai, okay, and He only died for the nation of Israel, all right, for nobody else. Okay, this is the book of Acts, chapter 5. I'll start at 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, "We ought to obey God rather than men." All right, because the Lord, all right, He gave us these laws, statutes, commandments to follow, man. We have to follow what He told us to do, man. He gave us the blueprint. All right. This is verse 30. The God of our fathers, not everybody's fathers, all right? Our fathers are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all right? Very specific. The God of our fathers raised up Yahushai, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him had the Most High exalted with His right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. It doesn't mention everybody else there, man. All right, there's no Greeks, all right, involved in this. There's no other nations involved in this, all right? All right, the Lord's only about Yasharallah, which is Israel, man, and that's it. Right now, this is a learning lesson for us, man. All right, we're living in the time of the Gentiles, at the end of the time of the Gentiles. All right, these heathens have been ruling over us. All right, the Lord has been whipping our ass, and we've been fucking stiff-necked, you know, since the beginning, man. All right, committing wickedness, going off. All right, not considering Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You see, and the Lord's only going to come back and save the elect this time. 2/3 of our own people are not considered Israelites today, man. They want to be like you fucking heathens. So guess what? The Lord's going to kill them as a heathen, man. They're going to get the horrible judgment from the Lord. All right? But no, you know, the Lord's coming for His elect, those that turn back to Him. He's not coming back for everybody else, man. All right? The heathens have no part in this. The only part you have as a heathen is to be our inheritance as slaves, you know? And that's why, you know, Psalms 2 and 8, you know, ask of me and I will give thee the heathens for thine inheritance. You see?
Right, and that's another point. If the Lord was for everybody, then what heathens are we gonna get? Who's gonna be the slaves then? If the Lord loved everybody, if He, you know, came to save everybody, you know, it'll be a contradiction, you know. But right. I got one right here. This is Matthew 1 and 21. It says, "And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Yahushai, for he shall save his people from their sins." You know, so he's not gonna save the world from their sins, everybody from their sins. No, his people from their sins specifically, and that's it. When Paul, you know, because you have a lot of Christians. Oh well, you know, Jesus, you know, came for His people. And then when they rejected Him, then the other guys, you know, it was open when Paul came. That's why it says that Paul is the apostle of the Gentiles. No, it's still His people. Those Gentiles are Israelite foreigners. It's not actual heathens, man. You know?
Right. You know, like Cornelius of the Italian band, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Cornelius may have looked like an Italian, may have dressed and talked like an Italian, but guess what? He was an Israelite, you see? And just like for today, listen, man, here in America, you go to these horrible zoos, man, these prisons for animals, you know, these zoos, and you'll see an African zebra, right? All right, and they'll have little baby zebras or whatnot. Hey, they're still from the so-called land of Africa. They're still a so-called African zebra, if you will, right? But yet, people who are born here, they're all bugged out, man. They think, oh, well, I was born here, I'm American. No, man. All right, your forefathers, which were you, all right, were brought here to serve slavery, man. All right, and it was part of prophecy in Jeremiah the 17th chapter that we will discontinue from our heritage. And also, the people ruling today, the so-called white people, Esau, Edom, all right, and the rest of the heathens who are against us, Psalms 83 tells you, all right, that they got together to cut us off from remembering ourselves, man. The name of Israel will be no longer in remembrance to us. And that's why we call ourselves black or so-called Negro or African American or Hispanic or Latino, you know, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Cuban, you know, and so on and so forth, Guatemalan or whatever, or Native American Indian, you know. That's not who we are. We are the Hebrew Israelites, man. We are the sons of the living true power, Yahweh, man. All right? Mm-hmm. And that's all the Lord is coming back for, specifically starting with his elect. You see? Because the Lord said that he has 7,000 that didn't bow the knee. You know, that 7,000 is completion. Listen, there's 144,000 men that are going to get salvation, including 1/3 of the nation of Israel here in America. All right? Women, children, and men that, you know, are going to believe within that last hour and get redeemed. They're going to be saved and delivered by the Lord Yahweh Shai, man. All right? Nobody else is going to get that. Nobody else is going to get that special treatment when Jacob's trouble is called Jacob's trouble. It's not everybody's trouble. All right? The devil's going to come down on great wrath upon those that fear the Lord. Who fears the Lord? Who has faith and knowledge of the Lord, man, is his people.
Who can only have faith and knowledge of the Lord? Who can only have true fear towards Yahweh Bashim Yahushai? Only us.
Only Israelites, you know? No one else, man.
I got one. We could end it with this
Go
one.
ahead.
This is John 10:30. It says, I and my Father are one. Meaning what? That they have the same mindset. So everything the Lord said back in the Old Testament, guess what? Yahweh Shai, when he came in the scene, he was following. He wasn't going against it. He was still all Israel. Every book in the Old Testament is specifically for Israel. And Yahweh Shai, when he came, he was specifically for who? For Israel. You see? We just read Matthew 1. The brother read Acts 5. You know, this is John 10. So these are the scriptures proving that, man. You know, for you guys, thinking that, the Lord is for the heathens as well. You know, all this time, all these books, are all for Israel now. No, we're just a couple of them are for the Gentiles.
Negative.
You know,
if I could just bring this one point out, this is James 1:1. Mm-hmm. James, the servant of God and of the Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. All right, the 12 tribes of who? Of Israel. All right, the Lord told us in Deuteronomy 28 that if you will not hearken to this word, to the word of the Lord, that he's going to scatter us, man, among the heathens. All right, and that's why Paul was the Gentile. I mean, the apostle to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
Because our people were scattered among the Gentiles, man. All right. And today, we're going to have Israelites looking like the heathens, man, like other nations. And that's why the Lord said, my sheep hear me. And how does it go? Follow me whithersoever I go.
Mm-hmm. My sheep hear my voice.
Yeah, that's it. My sheep hear my voice. All right. It's not the Lord pointing out, oh yeah, you look like John Shaff, you're an Israelite. Nah, man. All right. We're going to have Israelites looking like everybody else, man. That's why these words must be spoken in these last days, man. Because guess what? Like the book of Baruch. All right, the Lord's gathering his sons through the word, man. And this word has gone out to the four corners of the earth, and it's waking up his elect. All right, his sons are being gathered from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, man. All right, it's not for everybody. So when you go into James 1:1, right, that word tribe, all right, you know, is a G, which is Greek. All right, G5443. It means a tribe in the New Testament, all the persons descending from one of the 12 sons of the patriarch Jacob. All right. You see, it's very specific, man. The Edomite scholars, they know this. All right. And it's their job to hide it from everybody else, man. You know, it's our people that are fucking lost.
Well, hey, so even some Edomites, you know, that are neutral, will study this and be like, you know what? Yeah, this is only for Israel. I don't know where everybody is getting all this universal. There's even books that say that the universal concept of the Lord being with everybody is not biblical.
Right.
You know, so even they know, and like you said, it's our people, the ones that want to save everybody else. Every time, you know, we go on the line, what is it? What about this nation? What about that nation? All these other nations don't give a shit about you, but you're the only one worried about them. You know?
It's just, you know, Jake's a compassionate people, but they have an evil eye towards one another, their own brother, you know, and that's part of the curses, man. You see, that's why we're destroyed, because of the lack of knowledge, man. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was basically it. Now, another point that they like to use is that, oh, well, James, Peter, and all of them, yeah, they were only speaking to the Israelites, but Paul and them were speaking to the Gentiles. That's still, you know, the brother just brought out that definition of that word, tribe. You know, it's specifically for one of the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Mm-hmm. And then when you read Peter, 1 Peter 1:1, which the brother from London made this point as well. You know, so let's say Peter and James were for the Israelites, right? Peter 1:1, it says, Peter, an apostle of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. You see? So I thought he was only for Israel. So why is he right here saying to the strangers? You see? So their doctrine, what they try to combat us with, makes no sense, man. You know?
Can I back you up again with that 1 Peter 1:1? Mm-hmm. The word strangers is G, again, is Greek, G3927. One who comes from a foreign country into a city or land to reside there by the side of the natives. The Lord said he will scatter us among the heathens, man. That's why Peter is saying the strangers in all these other places, man. All right, as strangers sojourning in a strange place, a foreigner. In the New Testament, metaphor in reference to heaven as the native country, one who sojourns on earth. Right. So it's talking about Israelites living in these other nations, man. Mm-hmm. You see? It's so plain, man, but guess what? None of the wicked is going to understand. And we understand that, so this word is really for the elect, man. All right, if you could hear and receive these words, return back to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man. You see? Because the time is near, man. The kingdom is at hand. Repent. All right? The Lord is not the author of confusion. This is plain, man. This is very plain. And it's only for the elect, because we know the wicked are not going to get it, man.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Hey, so with that, hopefully everyone were edified. We're going to end it by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Israel that rule well. And salutations to you, Akim, out in the highways and the byways, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom. Abba.